What's up guys, KPlaysHere here. This time, I'm not going to hold you guys up with a very long intro. You know what you're here for. We've all been waiting to see Ryze's version of Hunting Horn for a long time. Through the announcement trailer not showing it at all, through Twitter only giving us a short clip at camp, through the Game Awards trailer only showing it for a split second, and finally through an entire week of every other weapon showcase videos, with a weekend break in the middle. The exception of course being if you've seen the leaked video earlier this week. Won't judge you if you have, mostly because I've seen it too. But the wait is over. We finally have our first full, and official, look at Hunting Horn. If you want to know my opinion on it, well...
Woo! Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for! That's what it's all about! Woo!
I'll get back to you guys with the details right after we finish drooling over this trailer together.
This is going to hurt! Face my fury!
Whew, there's a lot to unpack there. The first thing I want to point out is that the set they chose for the showcase is actually pretty interesting. Not only does it hint at Viserios and its older form Gravios possibly returning for Ryze, but it was also the same set used in the Monster Hunter Online Hunting Horn trailer. Funny little coincidence, because just like in that game, they hit Hunting Horn with some big changes here. First things first, the website mentions that we can gather notes of a single color for a steady boost or combine 3 to gain all effects. Don't know about you guys, but that sounds like a totally revised song system right there, and it could be huge for us. While they're messing around with things on the fundamental level like it sounds like they're doing, they could, you know, give each horn a unique song list, add in new songs like Iceborne did, casually throw Attack Up XL on every Hunting Horn. The possibilities are there. We'll definitely have to stay tuned for new info on that. Who knows, changes like that could very well be why they held off on showing Hunting Horn for so long. That aside though, I want you guys to pay attention to one specific detail while we watch through these clips. You see this short stepping animation with the musical notes surrounding the hunter? That's the new recital animation. That's it. Just boop, songs applied. No more shuffling in place waiting for your buff to activate. It seems like they're going for more of a quick activation mechanic now so we can focus on getting right back into combat, because there are a few spots where it's looking like you can even buff without even doing a recital attack first. Even if that's not the case though, this new fast animation alone will streamline Hunting Horn play so much. We won't have to look quite as hard for a safe moment to break into song and dance anymore, because buffing will blend almost seamlessly into combat. Speaking of combat, let's talk about these awesome new combos. After a Wirebug assisted jumping slam right onto Tetronodon's head, we go out with the old Hunting Horn shuffle dance and then with this new Dance of Death that combines the fast and aggressive recital moves of Valor style from Generations Ultimate with the damage boosting sound burst hits from World. This is the perfect tool we needed in our arsenal for pairing all out damage dealing with fast song maintenance. You attack, you buff, you go on about your business. Remember my wishlist video from a while ago? This is 3 things on that list checked off in just one combo. Flashy moves, more use of the sound attacking concept, and revamped recital mode. Check, check, and check. If streamlining Hunting Horn like this is all they did, I'd probably be happy on that alone, because that's something I feel like the weapons needed for years. We watched the same trailer though, so we know that there's even more coming. The next part shows the same recital attack, except this time we see that you can also chain attacks immediately out of it. This isn't just any attack being used here though, it's Iceborne's infamous Echo attack. Yes, even without the Clutch Claw to hold our horn, Spin to Win is here to stay. Between that and some of the fastest Hunting Horn attacking we've ever seen so far, Status and Elemental Horns could possibly have a really great game in Ryze. It's worth mentioning that we only seem to see these after recitals though, and they might be only hitting 3 times instead of the usual 4. This had me thinking that the Echo attack might be taking over the function of encoring songs when I first noticed it, especially since we see these red musical effects surrounding the hunter whenever they throw one out. Hopefully normal Echoes stick around or the red effect means something different, because changes to that move could leave the fate of Echo Note songs up in the air. Those could be pretty useful at times, so it'd be great if they stuck around. This is probably one of the questions we'll need to get our hands on a demo to answer though. Moving on to the third scene, we have our hunter showing us what could be some new normal attack combinations. I don't think we're seeing recital mode moves here because there aren't any sound bursts until the very end, and from the green and blue flashes in between swings you can see notes being stocked. As a guy who's into martial arts in real life, watching this part was absolutely amazing for me. Just look at how the hunter handles himself here. Not wasting any movements, using the weight and momentum of each swing to carry his weapon right into the next one. It's just poetry in motion. Then to top it all off, he racks up even more cool points by ending with that fancy breakdancing recital animation from Generations Ultimate. Because why not? Seriously, hats off and a slow clap for whoever choreographed these new moves over at Capcom. They're exactly what I'd expect out of a hunter that dances to the beating of his own enemies. My fingers are crossed on there being even more combo chains like this, because they'll be a ton of fun for using to take down monsters in style. Speaking of stylish new attacks, the next bit brings us to the Silkbind moves. The first one was an easy guess, a dashing recital that uses the wire bug to reel ourselves towards the monster. Like I predicted, the initial dash has iframes to it for advancing straight through attacks, so it'll be useful as a safe gap closer or an emergency counter move. The attacking portion starts as you're still moving, so you'll need to keep your distance from the target in mind if you want to land the whole combo. Following your hunter showing off their sick flip tricks and a quick sonic blast, you seem to be able to activate a song off of this move and then chain it into other attacks. In my opinion, this is how Adept style should have worked in Generations from the start, but better late than never. There are no complaints from me with all this love we're getting now. Finally, we have our second Silkbind attack. This one's more of a super move. Like Lance and Dual Blades, you throw out a knife that attaches you to the monster with wire bug string. Unlike those weapons though, you immediately blow out the monster's eardrums with the power of music by sending a super loud note vibrating up through the string. You're essentially plugging your weapon into the monster like an electric guitar and using their skull as your amp. The hunter immediately activates this big burst every time we see this move in the trailer. What I'd like is the ability to hold off on it and use it when you choose to. Having your finger on the detonator switch for a heavy dose of burst damage will be really useful for stopping monsters in their tracks at the perfect moment. With these moves though, we have another thing crossed off the wish list. We got much better unique Silkbinds than we did unique hunter art, so that's 4 out of 5. If the Palicos and Palamutes are good enough to be worth bringing along to share buffs with, Rise's Hunting Horn gets a perfect 5 out of 5 for me. I really couldn't be happier with what we have at the moment. This is more than worth the wait, and the excitement won't have to tide us over for too long because we have a demo coming soon. Like I mentioned earlier, the trailer raises a few questions that only full gameplay will be able to answer. I'm talking things like exactly how the new recital mode works, our new attack and combo paths, how much of World and Iceborne's additions carry over, the damage potential of our new moves. There's a lot that's going to need some hands-on testing to figure out. If I had to hazard a guess towards how this will all work based on just what we've seen so far, it'd be this. Most of the normal moveset is most likely still in, with the trailer mainly focusing on showing us that the recital mechanics and attacks have been totally redone. There may be a few new note-stocking moves thrown in here and there, but don't expect absolutely everything to have changed. If song activations aren't specifically tied to the end of recital attacks anymore, they might act like trigger points for starting, ending, and chaining together new combos. Think Sword and Shield's Perfect Rush, but with buffs replacing the time button presses. Lastly, echo attacks may or may not get some new function to them that we don't quite get yet. We'll see if this ends up being close to the real deal when we get behind the controls in the upcoming demo. I'll be sure to give you guys a full rundown on what I find ASAP. Until then though, this has been KPlays. Get hyped for Rise's amazing hunting horn, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.